at 9. And then Gladys Friday will be at the Union Club at 9. And Miller Creek will be at the Top Hat Lounge at 10. Yeah. So now we're going to switch gears over to Asaph's segment.
We are going to talk about the most famous nun to ever grace the screen on television. And of course, we're talking about the lovely and beautiful Sally Margaret Field, known to the world as Sally Field. She's going to be my wife in my next life. No, I'm just kidding.
You should try for this life.
Yeah. Well, I can dream, can't I? Anyway, Sally Field is an American actress and director. She's best known for her roles in the Smokey and the Bandit films in 1977. Some of her other movies were Norma Ray in 79, Murphy's Romance, Steel Magnolias, and of course the one and only Mrs. Doubtfire, and Forrest Gump. She started her career in the 1960s with a television show called Gidget. I don't know if anybody will even remember that. It was one of those like Annette Funicello Beach, Frankie Avalon kind of movies.
Okay.
It was a TV show, and it only lasted about a season. And then she does what's called The Flying Nun. And she'll probably forever be linked with that television show, The Flying Nun. There she is, as Sister Bertrille. See how lovely
I
she
forever
was.
link her with Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, yeah, maybe the later generation, but in my generation, it was obviously The Flying Nun. And I used to watch this show every week. But some of her accomplishments are pretty impressive. She's been nominated for numerous awards, including the Academy Award for Best Actress, Golden Globe Award, Best Actress in the Cannes Film Festival for playing Norma Ray Webster in the film Norma Ray, and she won Best Actress and a Golden Globe Award for playing Places in the Heart. And she received 3 other Emmy Awards for her role in Sybil about the young woman with a mental disorder. And her role in ER with George Clooney, she was in that in 2000. And also a film called Nora Holden Walker as a character, Brothers and Sisters.
And here's...
So here's a clip of Sally Field. This is the intro.
That is totally a man who's... Like, they dropped from a plane, and then, of course, they did green screen and stuff.
But these were the people in the convent of this show I used to watch. There's Sally Field flying through the air like Supergirl or Superman.
And her friends are like, oh, that crazy flying nun.
Yeah, but there she is. And that was this actor here was like the Romeo of the show.
But nuns aren't supposed to, marry her.
Well, no, he wasn't going after the nuns. He would always go after the girls, and Sally Field would be trying to stop him. And there she is flying around again. And there's this is so funny that she's like walking this dog, and the dog is walking her, because every time it get windy, she'd fly through the air.
Through a window? Through a window?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The Flying Nun was just such a fun show when you were a kid growing up, and all the kids like myself watched this show.
So let me get this straight. She's a nun.
She's a nun
who's able to fly.
Yeah, she could fly. And when it would get windy out there, she'd put her hand on her habit, like she's wearing, and she'd fly through the air, and she'd be doing her missions work and doing stuff for the convent. It was just such a funny show. And they don't even make shows like that anymore.
No, that's so
and I'm sure Sally Field must, in her room at night, I can't believe I did the Flying Nun.
The whole Flying Nun thing is just like, the person who made that up, it's like probably making fun of like these hats. It's just like, that reminds me of an airplane.
Look at those hats.
What if we made a nun fly? And then they made a show around it.
Did the other nuns fly?
No, she was the only one that could fly. Her character, Sister Bertrille.
So did they give background as to how she could fly?
Whenever it get windy, she would just float. When they had on the pilot episode when she was first going to the convent, they didn't know she could fly. I don't even think she knew she could fly at first. And she was supposed to be teaching kids in this school. And there was a situation where the wind came, all of a sudden she's like floating up in the air.
I like the very first scene when she's just like floating in the air and she's just like, whoa!
Yeah, but that scene when she's walking.
They dropped a guy from a plane with a nun costume on, hiding a parachute pack in his skirt. Oh, they just dropped him from the sky. They barely used it in those clips, but then there's an awkward clip where that lady's just like waving.
Yeah.
And she's like waving for like 20 seconds, and it's like, are we gonna show the Flying Nun again? And then
and then they show it, but that's the funniest scene to me is when the dog is walking her and she's floating.
I thought the
That's
funny
just
thing was when
outrageous.
she went through the window.
Yeah,
Yeah,
through
that-
that
that's pretty
stained
funny,
glass
too.
Stained
church
glass.
window. I like the one where she went through the window and all of a sudden you like see her in the city. Oh, whoa!
I guess
But you
she's
know,
okay.
She was classmates as a teenager with Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley. I just find that interesting.
Nice.
But she's left the world some great films, and of course, I'll always like her the most in Mrs. Doubtfire. But
I
if
mean-
you're in my generation, you got to go with the Flying Nun.
I think
mean,
I'm gonna have to watch some of those Flying Nun shows.
Yeah,
They have the
That was
episodes. They have
such a
the
fun
episodes
show.
on YouTube. I've seen
Do
a
they?
couple. Of them.
I'm going to need to. That's what I'll be doing after our show.
Yeah, it was a fun show. So I'll end it with that. Sally Field and her portrayal of the Flying Nun, even though her other movies were obviously greater films, Academy Award-winning films.
Thank you very much, Asaph.
My pleasure.
That was Musical Notes with Asaph Adonai. A very, very funny addition. I just can't get over that video of her just like, whoa! Okay.
I can't believe you've never seen that
No,
before.
I had no idea. I've never seen that. I've never heard
Yeah,
of that
that
before.
came on every day when I was a little
I
boy.
had no idea. No.
They had the first time I saw that I was
oh.
like 6 years old and they played it on late night Nickelodeon or whatever.
And you were like, whoa.
I'm like, what is this?
No, but I watched it on regular television. My parents used to watch that show, so that's how come I'm familiar with
Yeah,
it.
no, I had no idea. That's the first time ever seeing or hearing that. So, oh man, that's funny. Okay, all right, so now we've got some Saturday events. This is what's going on tomorrow. So we've got our farmers market still. Our farmers market the last week